Hi, this is Level 1, Week 3 and 4 lesson plans. First, we have our vault stations. Our first station is going to be a double station. Each student will have their own puzzle piece where they're going to work on their bounce back. So they'll start on 1 foot, jump 2 feet to their square, and bounce back 2 feet, arms up. Our next station will have 2 different activities to do. So the first one, the students will work on their run, proper hurdle, straight jump, hitting the board with 2 feet, keeping their arms up, and landing in a safety stop. The second activity will be climbing up onto the trap, then climbing up onto the chip, then putting their feet together, jumping off, and landing in a safety stop, practicing their stick. Our third station, the students will be working on their handstands. So they'll each have their own space against the wall with a mat in between. They're going to put their hands on the floor, walk their feet up to a handstand, and then they're going to try and hold for 10. Then they'll walk their feet back down and take a break. Our last station will be a hurdle drill. Each student will have their own french fry. They'll start at their arrow, run, hurdle over the french fry, landing on 2 feet with their arms down. Floor stations. Our first station will be a double station. So the student will have their own mat to put their feet on, their hands on the floor, and they're going to work on their pike handstand, trying to keep straight arms, straight legs, and get their hips all the way over their head, and hold for 5. Our second station will also be a double station. The student will sit on a slider and try and use their feet to pull themselves forward to their star and then push backwards to their star. Our third station will be a double station, and the students will be working on their cartwheel. They'll start in their lunge, place their hands on the cartwheel mat one at a time, and finish in their lunge, facing the opposite way. Our last station will be a double station. Each student will have their own cheese mat where they're going to work on their backward roll. Sit with pizza hands, roll, push, and stand. Bar stations. Our first station will be a double station. Each student will have their own floor bar. They're going to get into a push-up and work on switching their grip backwards and forwards, keeping their back flat and their legs straight. Our second station will have 2 activities. The first student will be on the low bar with the coach, and they're going to be working on their chin-up pullover, trying to get up to a front support, and then their forward roll to a chin-up. The second activity will be sitting with the noodle, and they're going to be working on their half hollow hold. So they'll lay on the ground, and then they're going to lift their shoulders off the ground, pushing the noodle to their knees, counting to 5. Our next activity will be a double station. Each student will be on their own side of the bar with mats in between, and they're going to work on their tuck swing, keeping their knees up in their belly and their arms straight. Our last station will also have 2 activities. The first student will be on the high bar, and they're going to be working on their monkey crawl, trying to crawl all the way across, keeping their arms straight and their legs tight. The other student will be sitting between the parallettes, and they're going to work on pushing straight arms and lifting their hiney up off the ground, keeping their legs straight. Beam stations. Our first station will be on a floor beam. Each student will have their own floor beam to work on their backwards walks. Arms out to the side, stepping 1 foot at a time, brush, touching, and stepping all the way down their beam. Then they can turn around and jump off and try it again. Our next station will have 2 different activities. So one student will wait on the circle board, practicing standing in passe, trying to keep the board from moving or touching either side. They can try both legs. The other student will be on the side beam. They'll do their proper mount first. Then they're going to work on their bear crawl. So straight arms, straight legs, head in, and they're going to walk their hands and feet all the way down the beam. Our third station will be a double station on the back beam. Each student will have their own side, and we're going to work on our straight jump. So they'll have proper beam feet, 1 foot in front, arms up. They'll swing and jump, trying to keep their ears covered and 1 foot in front. Our last station, each student will have their own beam. They'll be on the middle or the front, and they're going to work on complex. So they'll do their proper mount first to stand, and then they'll try various walks starting with forward.